It's a blustery day here in Texas. We're used to it being quite windy here in the Texas Plains.
So Jeff, you saw Hamlin walking over to Chase there at Martinsville after they'd had a confrontation. What are they saying to each other
these days?
Yeah, what are they? I'll text you tomorrow.
You know, it's a good question. I mean, I don't know. I think we'll find out if we see them racing side by side for the win again. Then we'll really know how they feel versus what they're saying. But if I had to guess, I don't think there's. I don't know, to be honest. Seen some smoke rolling off the two, but I think if I had to guess, I don't think there's a lot of friendly texting going on.
No love there. I think that's a left rear tire rub. I think we've seen this left rear tires doing a lot of work these days.
Brad Keselowski at Martinsville. We found out what that could do to your aerodynamics on a short track. How about, man, 200 miles an hour here at different places on the racetrack?
Well, we're finding out what a tire rub might do if it keeps running these laps.
Yeah. I do think, though, Mike, I think one of the reasons why they work on the left side tire is because we saw at Martinsville 2 weeks ago how that left side tire has to do all that extra work. It's all sidewall all crinkled up. I think they're trying to make that tire a little tougher because of the way the teams are approaching the setups.
Is this guy on a roll right now or what? Is his confidence just through the roof? And obviously all that celebrating didn't affect him too much. He just went to the top of the time chart.
Now, going to break, you saw the back of Alex Bowman's car. That is Finn. That is Alex Bowman's dog.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, that's what Alex will look like when his race is over with.
With his tongue hanging out?
Yeah, his tongue will be hanging out just like that.
His sponsor Nationwide is running a promotion for the September Richmond race, where if you win, your dog can be on Alex's car and you get a meet and greet with Alex.
And he is
like that.
A huge dog lover and supporter of charitable efforts to help out dogs. I've actually heard him say he likes dogs more than he likes people. Jokingly.
I heard him say that about our producer at a dinner recently. Yep.
Well, that was for a different reason.
That's right. Kyle Larson 15th.
I can't help, guys, when I look at this racetrack and look what's happening right now with the speeds and where the drivers, the cars are at. They're just glued to the bottom. It reminds me, I think this track first was repaved and built in originally paved in 1997 when it ran its first race. And this is what it reminds me of. You had to be so disciplined right on the bottom of the racetrack. It was smooth. It was super fast. And if you got even 6 inches off the bottom of the racetrack, you were in the outside wall.
Yeah, I think it's the speed that's what makes it so difficult. Going so fast, you've got no room for error. You got very little margin of error here, so you have to really, like you said, be right on the money every lap.
Harvick up to third. 3 Fords top of the chart. Then Ryan Newman.
Haas
are those Fords all from the same organization?
As a matter of fact, they are.
Now you can hear just a little blip in the throttle right there. Kevin Harvick, he was back to the throttle about wide open coming off of turn 4, and I don't know if it was the back or the front that slid out a little bit on him, but you could hear him just blip it just a little bit.
So now all the Toyotas have been on the racetrack with the exception of Kyle Busch. As Martin Truex completes his lap, they have Suarez in 7th, Jones in 13th, Truex now in 9th, and Hamlin 23rd. Masters of the 1.5 miles right there. Here's Vince.
Well, in this team, the 78 of Martin Truex Jr., they got to feel like this place owes them 1 or 2. They led laps here last April, and then here in the playoff race last fall, they led the most laps but ended up second. They feel like they've been good enough to win here, just haven't been able to get it done. One of the few 1.5 miles that they haven't won. So this has been one that's been circled on the calendar for this 78 team. Expect them to have a good weekend. Cole Perrin, the crew chief, was telling me, he said, you can really get everything you can possibly get down in 3 and 4, but oh, how different it is in 1 and 2.
And Vince, I think what could help Martin Truex Jr. and Cole Perrin, this 7-8 team, Goodyear had a tire test back in January to develop this new left side tire that's a little bit of a construction change, a little softer compound, should put more rubber down, have a little more fall off. But it was 4 drivers, Martin Truex Jr., Eric Almirola, Ryan Blaney, and Chase Elliott. Those 4 drivers did the test for Goodyear back in January.
Thanks, Larry. 40 minutes to go in pre-qualifying practice in Texas. Clint Boyer, fastest.